Hello, my name is Lisa. So I'd like to talk to you about my weight loss journey. So for years I've been trying to lose weight, doing it myself. I have gone through Slimming World. I've done One Life program. I've done Weight Watchers. I've done Slim Fast, eating healthier, cutting out carbs. I've been overweight now for 22 years, maybe 23 years. To be fair, I was always big as a child. Well, I wasn't until I went through some trauma when I was 13 and then turned to food. And from there, I just ballooned. When I was 20, I was 20 stone, and just ballooned. So, about when I was 40, I'm now 42. When I was 40, I was like, I can't do this anymore. My auntie had just died of a heart attack. My dad, in her early 50s, my dad had already had two heart attacks. And I'm thinking, I'm putting all this strain on my heart. And I didn't want that to happen, and I was worried. I've just been diagnosed with osteoarthritis in my knees, which I know is weight related. And it got to a point where I was like, enough's enough. So I went to the doctors, and I was forward for weight loss surgery or weight management program first. So it was either to do the injection or surgery, but because of my size, it went to weight loss surgery. And I was on the wait list for about 18 months. In March 2025, no, not, yeah, March 2025, I went and got weighed, and I was like right at the top of the list. But he said to me that I was over the recommended weight. I was 169 kilograms, which worked out as nearly 26 and a half stone. But I was too big for surgery because they don't really like doing surgery on when you weigh over 160. So they wanted me to reduce to under 160. So I did. I kind of followed their liver reduction diet that they recommend you do 2 weeks before, but I was loosely on it, and I was just using Slim Fast and everything to try and reduce my weight, which I did. I got to 159, and then in April, I think I was 157 on the 23rd of April, which was my surgery day. So 2 weeks before, they put me on a liver reduction diet. Now, the liver reduction diet you have to stick to for 2 weeks. It is very minimal food. You can have like one piece of bread, some chicken, egg, some vegetables, or you can go for Slim Fast and have a few Slim Fasts, or there's yogurt and milk option. I didn't go for the yogurt and milk option because I'm not a great fan of constant having milk. So I did the protein. I did a little bit of the food, which I think was under 1,000 calories, maybe 1,200 calories. And I did the Slim Fast because you can alternate days. So I did that for 2 weeks. On day 9, I wanted to give up. I was so hungry. I had no energy, trying to work and trying to still do work full time and still be a mum. And I had to give up swimming because at that time I just had no energy. And I was just so tired, grumpy, miserable. I just wanted to eat. I really did. Whenever I get like that, I just stuff my face. So I just wanted to eat. And I nearly did give up on day 9. My husband gave me a reality check and he said, "You've done so many diets. You've told me yourself you've tried all of this and it hasn't worked. This is your last option, and if you give up now, you will not be able to have surgery." He said he would support me regardless, but if I give up now and eat something, then it affects your liver, and they won't operate on you because the reason for the liver reduction is to obviously reduce your liver, so they can easily access the stomach for keyhole surgery. And if they open you up and find out your liver's too big, they'll stop the surgery. And yeah, it was kind of the reality check I needed because I was like, yeah, I've gone through so much. I don't want to die young. I want to be able to live. I want to lose enough weight to be able to fit inside a chair with arms at the dining table, or go on an aeroplane ride and actually not have to ask for extension seatbelt and fit in a seat. So it was a reality check I needed. The day of the surgery, we arrived at 7 in the morning. I got dropped off by my husband, and then he left. He didn't wait with me because he was working nights, and I told him to go to sleep. So I stayed, I read a book, just played a game on my phone. And then 1 o'clock, it was my time. Went down to surgery, and then I was like, "Oh my God, Lisa, what have you done?" When I was driven into the room where they knew they was going to operate, and they were talking about putting me to sleep, but they had to give me an injection in my back first. There was about 8 faces around. They were all doing their own little thing. And they put me on the monitor, so it's bleeping. And then I started to panic a little bit, and my heart was racing. And I was like, "What have I done? Why am I doing this? What? I can just try another diet. I'll do another diet. It will work this time. I've done Slimming Well before, and I managed to lose a few stone before I gave up after a few months." And then again, I had to say to myself, "Lisa, every time you do a diet, you give up after a few months, and it doesn't work. you got this size because you can't sort it out yourself. And I calmed myself down a little bit. I was talking to myself in my head, but within a few minutes, I was then put to sleep. Obviously, don't know what happened in surgery. It all went well, and then in recovery, I woke up in recovery. I was in so much pain. I was in a lot of pain. So it was keyhole surgery, but so I ended up with a few scars, probably about 5. But the scar where they took my stomach out of, the bigger scar, it hurt so much. Obviously, it hurt because they've removed 2/3 of my stomach. I had the sleeve surgery, and also I didn't know at the time, but they'd done it quite tight, and it hurt, the pain. I remember being in and out of sleep, and every time I was awake, I was calling out in pain. I was asking for pain relief. I was in there, so I went to surgery at 1. By 9 o'clock, I was more awake, and I finally went onto a ward, and then obviously just slept. The next, I did have, I think I was told to have a little bit of water. The next day, it was clear liquids in the morning. By lunchtime, they wanted me to have a protein shake. I was sick. They had to keep giving me sickness tablets. I was so sick, trying to keep down water, trying to keep down the protein shake, even to take the medication that they were giving me. The paracetamol, liquid paracetamol, I was just throwing up. So I was given anti-nausea tablets. By lunchtime, I was on protein shake, and I had to drink, I think it was about 250 ml, so it was a bottle of the protein shake before they'd released me to go home. So I was working my way through that, in a lot of pain still, relying on a lot of pain relief. I was given liquid paracetamol as well as small tablets to try and help with the pain. Was released home in the afternoon to follow the protein shake diet, to stick to having loads of protein shakes, liquids only, for 2 weeks. And then when you're ready after 2 weeks, you can move on to puree food. This I struggled with, actually, because my body was still adjusting. I was in pain, and I kept being sick. And then went on to puree. I was still relying, for the first, it was 2 weeks of puree as well. I was still relying on anti-sickness pills quite a bit. And then the pain eased quite a lot, actually. But then I noticed more how tight that stitch was. So it looked like I had another belly button. When they removed my stomach, they tightened it so tight it was actually an innie, and it was dipped in, so that really pulled so much. All the other scars were fine. They were all outside. They were not a problem, but this one, it was too tight. I mentioned it to because they do regular check-ins or phone calls. So I mentioned it, and they said it will get better. It will ease up. Maybe it was just the stitches too tight, and maybe that will ping out. So puree, and I was on using the anti-sickness pills to try and help me through that. Puree was alright. There was certain puree I still couldn't have. Like, I wanted to do pureed shakes with vegetables. That didn't work with broccoli. That didn't agree with me. And also some fruit. Some fruit was too much, like strawberries. The fructose in it, that disagreed with me, so I couldn't eat that. It made me sick. And then after 2 weeks, I started to move on to soft foods. Scrambled egg. I did the mistake of putting ketchup with scrambled egg. Don't do it. I was so sick. It was both ends. I was so ill. My stomach was definitely not ready for that. I avoided that for a long time. So that was 2 weeks of puree food, introducing new food. No, soft foods at that point, introducing new foods. I did live a lot on mashed potato and gravy, to be honest, because that was an easy food. Then I started introducing peas. Broccoli still wasn't great for quite a while, to be honest. Didn't introduce bread at that point. Scrambled egg was good as well, to try and get protein in. They want you to get in so much protein. It got to a point where I got fed up of protein shakes. I just couldn't drink them anymore. Just gone off them completely. So they do want you to carry on with the protein. They want you to try and get, I think it's 60 to 80 grams a day. That's hard. That's so hard when you've got minimal foods that you can have. At one point, the amount I was having, I was so drained and tired because I didn't have enough energy. The portions were tiny, and I just felt full. So I was having to eat over small periods, little and often, to try and get me through the day. And then maybe at the 3-month mark, 2-month mark, about 2 months, 2.5 months, they said to start introducing, to reduce it now, so I have to do 3 meals a day, because I think I was doing 4 or 5 very, very small meals, no snacks. and they said I needed to reduce it to 3 meals a day and to introduce snacks, 3 snacks. The snacks would be things like Baby Bell Light, raisins, grapes, fruit, um, peanut butter with cheese or apples, and there was a whole list of things that you could start introducing for snacks. This I struggled with because I still didn't get enough in to be able to keep going, and then you're still juggling with work, and then they want to try and add in exercise. That's a lot. I found a lot. So I'm now on. Then not long after that, you move from soft foods to hard foods. I think I had mackerel on toast one time. One piece of toast, lightly toasted, and mackerel on top. Again, that disagreed me. Just threw up so much. I haven't had mackerel since. And it's been 4 months now since surgery, so I could probably try mackerel because it's a good source of protein. So now I am at the 4 month mark, just under. I had surgery on the 23rd, and it's now the 20th of August, I think. And I'm able to eat kids' portions, half kids' portions of food. I can eat most foods now, to be fair, small portions. If I eat too fast, then I feel that I get tummy ache, or I just start to feel a bit sick. I don't really know when I'm hungry. My stomach doesn't rumble when I'm hungry, but I feel empty. And then I know because I'm empty that I need to eat something. But I'm trying to give myself something to eat, every couple of hours. So like breakfast, I would have my breakfast. Now that would be either 1 Weetabix or there's mini frosted shredded wheat, 10 to 12 of them, or mini Weetabix, 10 of them, 8 to 10, depending on what mood I'm in. Could have one piece of toast or one scrambled egg or boiled egg. That's about it really. Today I had shreddies actually. I had shreddies today, and I had 20 grams, which is the most I've probably had for a while, with a tiny bit of milk. So that's my breakfast. Snack, Baby Bell Light or raisins or grapes. If I have a yogurt, I still can't eat a whole yogurt at the moment. We're looking at about, if it's 100ml yogurt, I can nearly get there. But those big Miller Lite yogurts, I can't do that. That's too much at the moment. So I can have a yogurt. Lunch, I'm having tuna with mayo light and cracker bread, because I'm trying to keep up the protein, or I'd have some chicken, which is really hard. You can do a chicken salad, but again, if you can't feel yourself on, you've got to stick to the protein and focus more on protein. You can't keep filling yourself on the leaves. And that's it. I can't eat anything else. That's my lunch done. Dinner varies. It could be lots of things. Obviously, still liking the mash and the gravy, but I could have things like chicken, mince. Mince is good. Cotch pie is great. I can eat other things as well. I mean, I can actually, I can eat. Well, I haven't tried a steak yet, but I'm sure I could if I wanted to, and just cut it up in smaller pieces. Husband had ribs the other day, and I nicked a little bit of that, but it's still really, really small portions. I had a kids' meal. I had carbonara, I think. We went out for a meal, and I had carbonara. I couldn't even eat half of it. Half of it was enough, and everyone was like having full meals with puddings. Couldn't do it. I can't even, when I go to a restaurant, can't have a pudding. No, I can't have a starter, or I have a starter and only a starter, because it's just a waste of money. Don't drink fizzy anymore. I used to really like Pepsi Max, and the reason why they make you stop drinking Pepsi Max by your surgery, because if you drink it afterwards, it expands your stomach, and the gas can expand your stomach, and then you're just going back to square one because you're just stretching your stomach out, especially if you're eating. So I think recently my daughter has Pepsi Max sometimes. I've had like a mouthful, but that's it. I don't drink fizzy anymore. Drink mainly water or Ribena Light. Cup of tea occasionally, but then again, I can't sit and drink a whole cup of tea. So it's just a waste. I might be able to drink half a cup. We're supposed to try and get 1.5 litres of fluid in a day. I am getting a litre, definitely, but to 1.5 litres, it's a struggle. It just depends on what kind of day it is, how hot it is, and how much I've eaten, because obviously I have a choice, food or liquid, because you can't have the two together, and you have to leave a 20-minute gap before you, like if I eat, I can't have drink for 20 minutes. So there's a bit of restriction there. And this also doesn't help when it comes to getting to your protein. You can't try and get all your vegetables and fruit in if you've got to get 60 to 80 grams of protein in. So it's quite hard. You've got to make sure that your lunch and dinner is full of protein. There is the choice of a backup shake. I do sometimes, probably twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. I have protein shakes if needed. But I always try and get 50 grams of protein. That's about normal for me. I mean, like Baby Bell Light, I know it has 5, a yogurt has 5, an egg has about 5. So it just depends on what I'm eating throughout the day, and I try and top it up. Um, but yeah, I try and think that's everything. Exercise, introducing more exercise now. I've got more energy. My weight loss at the moment. We'll start with the exercise. So the exercise. Yesterday I walked 3 miles, which is the first time I've done in a long time because of the weight and my knees and just not having energy, which was quite nice. We started to do, me and my daughter are doing a little Joe Wicks workout, and then 2 to 3 times a week we go swimming. We've always done that though. We quite like swimming, so it's just a slow increase to try and get my body up to strength again. I've got no muscle strength. I'm really weak, so that's the next thing to do. I've got to order some dumbbells, and when I do the exercise workouts, introduce the dumbbells. I've got a gym membership. I've had a gym membership for years. If I've used it or not is a different matter. Mainly for swimming and aquafit. And there's Body Sculpt there, and there's a clubber size one that I've looked into that I can start soon, and get that up and running again, just so I can do a variety of different exercises. That's my next aim. So weight loss now. I've just weighed myself. I think it's 128 kilograms. But weight, stone wise, I don't really do kilograms as much, but stone wise, I'm slightly under 20 stone now. So since the start of my journey, I've lost 6.5 stone since March. So March, April, May, June, July, August. 5 months, 6.5 stone. We're still getting there. There's obviously a lot more weight to lose, but getting more confident. I just wish that I wasn't losing so much hair, which I seem to be doing, and my skin wasn't so bad. But I'm sure that's a work in progress. It's only been 4 months. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an update or just let you know how it went. It hasn't been easy. It's been very much a roller coaster ride, and I haven't been the greatest person. I've been grumpy at times, I've been snappy, I've been tired, I've been irritable, just not having enough calories going in, especially now I'm introducing more exercise. So I'm taking in about 1,000 calories a day now, creeps up to 1,200 at times. And now I'm starting to do exercise, like the 3 mile walk I did, and the little Joe Wicks 50. Well, it worked out about 7.5, 8 minutes of exercise on the video. It's a 15-minute video, but you rest every 30 seconds. I must be burning about 400 calories at least because of the size I am. So technically, I'm not intaking quite a lot, and it just makes you tired and drained. I'm lucky that it's summer holidays at the moment because I work in a school, so I've got about another week and a half, and then I'm back to work, which is going to be draining to begin with, but I'm sure I'll get into a routine. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you know what it's like to actually have weight loss surgery, and I'm sure I will do another post soon.